Welcome to Too Many Tabs, Season 3, or should I say, Season 3! That's right, we're back, but are we so back? Absolutely not.
No,
we're barely back. We're barely back. We are dying. Oh my God, we've been sick for like 2 weeks. We've been so sick, and we're going to explain it all to you of what happened, what's been going on.
It's also been a wild 2 weeks.
It's been a wild 2 weeks, and we barely left. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just get started. Hold on.
Too many frauds and too many scammers that we wish weren't real. Too many cons and too many spammers, and we're starting to feel like we've got too many tabs open. It's too many tabs. Remember to smile.
That was a lot of really cool dance moves.
That was, and if you don't watch the YouTube, you won't see it during the intro. But yes, we are back.
We're back, baby.
We're here. We have been under the weather, the entire household.
Oh my God.
Mrs. Pearlmania.
My voice sounds super cool.
Myself, Pearl Babia.
Yeah.
Everyone has been sick. Coming up on 2 weeks now.
We're doing
Since
great.
we last recorded an episode for y'all, and we said we're gonna take a little breaky.
Yeah.
Gonna take a little breaky now. We even said, hey, we might even just repost, we might re-upload some stuff.
What we were gonna do is we picked out 2 of our favorite episodes from season one.
Yep.
And then we were gonna record new intros.
Yeah, because the old intros were so long and had shout outs and all this other different stuff in it.
Out-of-date stuff.
And we were like, hey, we'll record new maybe new insights.
Yeah.
Right?
Things have changed.
Yeah, things have changed. The format of the show has changed.
The plague befell our household.
Yes. Multiple.
So
literally a pox upon our houses.
Don't give it away.
A literal pox upon our houses. We'll explain a little bit further into the episode. But But
just know that we had plans. We weren't really just gonna go away for 2 weeks. We had little ideas we were gonna pepper in.
Yeah, we had things we were percolating. I had YouTubes I was gonna make.
Oh, the YouTubes.
You haven't been able to make any YouTubes.
No YouTubes.
Haven't been able to do much of anything, really.
Not really that many TikToks.
Just been dying.
Yeah, well, no, and taking care of a child.
Taking care of a child and dying.
Yeah, but you're alive.
But I'm alive. You're barely alive. This is the best she's sounded in so long.
I have a lot of caffeine
and the baby
in my
is healthy
system.
now. The baby is healthy enough now to be in a little childcare situation.
Yeah.
So we could sit down at a table
together
and record a podcast
and dump lore. But we're not gonna do research lore today. I want to just do.
This is personal lore. We're dumping lore. We're dumping backstory lore.
Yeah.
For you, the listeners.
Basically, we wanted to do hey, what were we doing during our break?
Yeah, during our little vacation. Because it definitely was a vacation.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying it.
Last year when we did this, when we took a little break, when we returned, we had a new baby.
Yeah.
And this year we just have a 1-year-old baby.
Well, yeah, we don't have a new baby.
We don't have a new baby.
Thank
Same
goodness.
baby though. Again, he's doing great now.
Same baby.
He's probably the only one healthy.
Yeah.
And we know that because he's been checked by multiple doctors now.
Yes, exactly. He's doing great.
We though still dying.
I think we're jumping ahead.
Okay.
Stop jumping ahead. We need to start at the beginning.
Okay.
We took a break.
We
recorded our last episode.
Yep, we recorded our last episode.
And then we had our child's first birthday party.
Yeah, and we also released the cookie episode.
Oh, I forgot about the cookie episode.
Yeah, for all our Patreons out there.
Oh, I got a lot of great comments. People loved it.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of really great comments. Just real quick, before we get into everything, thank you for everyone who sent us their Spotify Wrapped lists.
Oh my God.
With us on them. Thank you for everybody who sent us images of deviled eggs or cookies you've made.
I always share
or anything else. By tagging me or Mrs. Pearlmania across social media. We really do appreciate it. And thank you for all of the wonderful messages that we've gotten from people who have said, hey, looking back on 2024, y'all's podcast or your content really helped me get through the darkest year of my life. And I just want to let you know, thank you for letting me know that. Even darker year ahead.
No, shut up.
Even darker
my God.
year
Why
ahead.
Are you like this?
Oh my God, it's gonna be bad.
You're literally the worst.
I'm literally the worst.
You're literally
no. 2025 is literally the worst.
Calm down.
Oh, it hasn't even started.
It's fine.
The amount of things that I woke up, I opened my phone and went, oh no, and put it back down because I was like, oh, new year, new me, and I was like, new me. No, it's a worse. It's a worse. We're gonna take the last decade, right? We're gonna redo all of it, in 1 year. I guarantee that's exactly what's happening right now. I'm gonna put the Pearlmania stamp on this one.
We're taking. Think of co-signing.
Hold on, I'm not done. Think of the last decade. All right, your biggest hitters from the last decade. We're doing them again, but we're gonna do it like J.J. Abrams redoing Star Wars, where it's gonna be similar. It's the same story notes, heightened a little bit, but woke now.
Oh, woke. Okay.
They're gonna woke it up.
I disagree with you. I think everything's gonna be totally fine and cool.
Okay, well then, I don't like to say this, but if that's your belief, then give me your hand.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Then you are an idiot. So
no, I'm just being delusional.
No, optimist. That's delusion. Same thing.
Yeah, no, I was being delusional.
Okay, no, that's fine. We're recording this on New Year's Day, by the way.
Yeah. We've been watching Anderson Cooper clips all morning because we did not stay up late. Gross.
We just slept.
Absolutely not.
We went to sleep. Gross. So let's go. Let's talk about what we did on our break.
Okay, so we
had
a birthday party.
We had the birthday party for the baby.
With the birthday party, it was great.
So
we had a hoagie tray, Costco birthday cake, many people over.
Yep.
Great time.
Yeah.
And then
people brought over presents for the baby, and we had told them to put it under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, and we were like, we can't do this in the future.
Yeah.
He's gonna be upset, resentful.
Listen, when
Christmas.
that kid is like 11, he's gonna be like, I hate Christmas, and you're gonna be very upset because you love Christmas.
Yeah.
For you, it goes Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah.
For me, it's I like Thanksgiving more now because you like it, and it makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to become a Halloween family.
A Halloween family?
I want to make Halloween our personality.
Okay.
For like 4 months out of the year.
Perfect.
The whole setup.
I'm into it.
Are you into it?
I have big ideas.
I know.
So we had the party and that was super fun. And then that was the weekend. And then that Monday, we went to the governor's residence.
Yeah, the governor's residence.
Yeah.
And the Pennsylvania governor invited us, the entire family.
Yeah.
To a holiday party that was for content creators and influencers. I had been to it last year.
Yeah.
I went to last year's Christmas holiday party. We have a Jewish governor, so it's a holiday party. It's officially a holiday party.
Yeah.
They have a Hanukkah party, but it's not
the same.
I wasn't invited to that.
Yeah, but last year everybody was really snotty.
Yeah, well, because last year I went by myself. You were heavily pregnant. You were about to pop.
Super duper pregnant, yeah.
And I went.
And you looked at me and you said, "Do you want to go to the governor?" And I was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
You were just like, you want
me to put on pants?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You're like, I don't feel pretty at all. And I was like, okay, well, you look great. And you were like, you're a fucking liar. But this year we got invited. And last year when I went, it was media party.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, they had like reporters, local reporters from newspapers. They had reporters from TV stations, the radio, news radio, all this different stuff. They were all there. Plus, like, I want to say 10 or 15 content creators / influencers.
You were outnumbered.
And the reporters were so mad. It was just the same exact thing that happened at the DNC, where, like, people with journalism degrees who worked all these years, who, like, worked in the mailroom and worked their way all the way up to becoming a broadcaster. I'm an anchor for a news station. Like, what's this guy do? He dances on fucking TikTok? And I'm like, no, actually.
I yell.
I just take your content and I repackage it, and then I yell it.
Yeah.
And more people see it. And they trust me more than you.
Ha ha.
Ha! And then they were like, we can't have these people in the same room together.
Then they made a whole new one.
So they made one that was just content creators.
Yeah, and we got to go this time.
And
me and the baby.
Yes, you and the baby. And I was very excited because...
And it was super cute because we got dressed up.
I was looking through my 2024 pictures because I was going to make a big carousel with like, oh, these are like the highlights. And I ended up just posting a picture of me and the baby. You gave me special dispensation to actually post a picture of just me and the baby because it was when he was still kind of potato-like, so he doesn't look like that anymore. And he's wearing sunglasses, so you can't really tell his face. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it's
incognito mode.
And everyone just went, look at them cheeks.
Yeah,
because he's very cheeked up.
He's got a cheeky baby.
Cheeked up baby. So I was very, very excited because I spent 2024 so much of it at the DNC, at VidCon, touring, all these different things, and you didn't get to go with me to almost anything.
Yeah.
And the baby definitely didn't get to go with me to anything. I was very, very excited as a family for all of us to be able to experience like one of these moments together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that was super, super cool. But also more importantly, I knew there was going to be a lot of people that I've met over the last year, especially who were going to be at the governor's residence.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's a residence. It's not a mansion.
It's also the most Pennsylvania-ass residence. Number one, it is a mansion. If you look at it, it's a fucking mansion.
You can Google it.
But when you're standing in front of it, it's across the street from a methadone clinic and catty corner to a gas station.
Yes.
So it's the most Pennsylvania shit.
It's just in a neighborhood, by the way. It's also like the Pennsylvania governor's residence is in Harrisburg, which is just a middle of nowhere town.
Yep.
And then at the other end, Like if you're down by the state capitol looks like a state capitol. Like it has a building that I think was built by the same as the U.S. federal capitol. It's like the same architect or a similar architect. And the area around it is like where business happens. So there's like some nicer places to be. The governor's residence is literally walled off.
Yep.
There's a big wall around it. And we parked in front of a fucking methadone clinic. Yeah. And you actually pointed to me, you're like, They're arguing over who's going to go next door to buy cigarettes at the golf station.
Yeah, I was trying to get the baby out of the car, and they were discussing who's going to go buy smokes. And I was just like, this is so Pennsylvania. Perfect. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah. And so we had to get in line with all the other content creators. And it was a good mix because it was people from all over. A lot of people from Philly, a lot of people from Pittsburgh, and then also a lot of people who run like smaller pages.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a Pennsylvania focused thing. So you have people who are like, oh, I was like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I run I do like the chocolate page for all of the different chocolate makers around Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh,
niche.
That's cool.
And
very
like,
niche
which one's
stuff.
Better?
Yeah. And like
I had big questions because there's one thing, Hershey's chocolate, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
It's got a weird after Bernie taste.
Yeah.
And I don't know when that started or what they're putting in them these days.
Yeah, the little shrinkflations.
But there's something happening in there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, tell me what the good chocolates are.
Yeah, so there was that, and then also I talked to some people who talk about like different farmers markets, and I found out about gluten-free options
what about
for you.
That sweater guy?
There is a guy. Okay, so this was crazy. There's a guy from TikTok who makes his own sweaters, and he's on the spectrum, but like you don't know him.
No, I never seen him before.
And I kept saying he was the 9/11 sweater guy.
Yeah,
and you kept going, I don't understand. And like this guy made he has a 9/11 sweater.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen it?
No, I just saw he had a sweater of the Capitol on, the Capitol of Pennsylvania.
Yes, because he makes his own sweaters.
I was like, why is that guy wearing that sweater? That's pretty crazy that exists. And you're like, he probably made it because he made the 9/11 sweater. And I said, what the hell did you just say to me?
Yeah. So this guy.
Are you pulling up a picture for me?
Yes, I'm pulling up a picture for you right now. I'm trying to find one that isn't blurry.
There. It was very funny. Oh.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the 9/11 sweater. I'm putting up on the camera right now.
Yeah.
But basically,
never forget.
I think the story was, yes, this is what he went to the World Trade Center.
Okay.
And he made a sweater of it.
Sure.
And then 9/11 happened.
Uh-oh.
So he added 9/11. So it's like the buildings collapsing.
Oh, so he makes a sweater for places he visits.
Yes. That's his whole thing. Cool. And he's a very nice man.
Yeah, he was nice.
Like he's very nice. And if as long as TikTok's still up for a couple more weeks, you can see that you have the story behind my Twin Towers sweater. Because he calls it a Twin Towers sweater. Yeah. I keep calling it a 9/11 sweater.
I see what's happening here.
Because
his branding is a little bit...
Well, because originally it was a Twin Towers sweater.
Yeah.
And then he added 9/11 to it.
So we went to the governor's meeting.
He's the Osama bin Laden of knitters.
We had a great time. They had a great spread.
Yeah, great spread. Good
Beautiful food.
Great people.
There was a train set. The baby was big into the train set.
But more importantly, the other thing though, I was very excited was
more important than the train set.
I was excited to introduce you and the baby to so many local creators and Pennsylvania creators that I've met.
I met a lot of people.
And there was a lot of people. And there was a couple people like Santiago from No Shorts and a few other different people that you have met a couple times. So it was good to like catch up with them. And it was just nice.
It was a nice, chill vibe.
Yeah. Until I started like yapping at the governor to not be an idiot.
You did as soon as you got within arm's length.
Yeah.
You started.
They were like, hey, come forward, take a picture. I was like,
oh, the governor wants to take a picture.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, here's a list of things y'all been doing wrong.
And I got a list of complaints.
Yeah, and which is why we go to these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But also it's also in these cases for us being in the content creator space. I don't get a lot of office time with coworkers.
Yeah.
And I really do view there are some people that I've met over this last year who I view as more friends, who I've shared. If I have your phone number in my phone, if we text, we're a friend.
Yeah.
But if we DM, we're coworkers.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like, well, maybe no. If we DM, we're associates. We're associates. Okay, that's what I allow you to. We'll DM each other. If there's no mutuality whatsoever, coworkers. That's my view. Like me and who's the girl who dances?
Charlie D'Amelio.
Charlie D'Amelio. As far as I'm concerned, coworkers.
Yeah.
Me and Charlie D'Amelio both were at VidCon.
Yep.
She had her booth.
Yep.
I was just walking around confused as to why I was there.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Same industry. We get paid by the same people.
Yep.
She's getting paid by Instagram and TikTok. I'm getting paid by Instagram and TikTok. She got Patreon and she made a video a while ago trying to sell her popcorn that made people realize that she didn't understand the class struggle of most people around her.
They really thought she had class consciousness?
No.
The lady that dances on her phone?
No.
For like $1 million?
Yeah, and then she put on a Walmart vest. Remember?
Oh,
remember that?
That was good.
People forget about that. But anyway, all these different people, I view them as coworkers.
Okay,
and
so we got to go.
It was nice. So it was nice that we did the baby with that, and it was a good timing too because it was from like 10 to 2.
Yeah.
So it was like the baby took a nap on the way there.
And then we had to sleep the whole way back. He's so tired.
Yeah, and it's like a 90-minute drive.
From giving the googly eyes to all the ladies.
Yes, and he was, listen, our kid serves face.
Yeah.
He's real good at it. And then that was the end of the beginning.
Okay, yeah, that's
because we're going to take a little break because you need to cough.
I need to cough real bad.
And we need to explain a little bit more of how we got these coughs. And we will do that.
No, I thought we were going to talk about how we went to the White House.
We're doing that after the break.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to take a break right now. Season 3.
We're here.
It's season 3 premiere.
We're back.
Okay.
Barely back.
How are you holding?
Bareback.
Don't. We're
sorry.
not. We're bareback in 2025.
No, so we're going to talk about we went to the White House the very next day.
Yes, the next day.
We got a babysitter. Shut up, listening. Shut up. We got a babysitter.
Yes.
We got a hotel room.
Yep.
One of the business ones with the blackout curtains.
Yes.
And a big bed.
Yes.
And that has a continental breakfast buffet.
Yes, it does.
I don't care anything about the
White
White
House. With
House.
an omelet bar.
Ignore the White House. I could give a fuck.
You really could.
It
was actually amazing.
I met so many people at the White House. We'll get into it, but like I met so many people that are what we would consider famous.
Yeah.
And I was like, the guy from Key and Peele,
yeah.
right? He's there, and he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "I got a hotel room with blackout curtains."
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a sleep.
You're like, "Isn't this amazing at the White House?" You're like, "We're spending a night away from the baby."
When's this party over? I'm trying to get to bed.
Yeah.
They're like, it's in the afternoon. I was like, I'm going to go to bed.
Steam shower.
I'm trying to go to bed.
We were invited to an after party, and we stopped in for like a minute, and then they're like, "Are you going to the after party?" We're like, "Fuck you, we're 40.
Fuck up.
We're 40 and we have a bed." So we drove to Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Because we were invited to a White House Christmas party. Mm-hmm. Never been to a White House Christmas party. Probably never gonna go again.
Yeah, I had to take the opportunity.
Yeah, it's really like
it was like there's definitely not gonna happen again.
Yeah, at least not for 4 years.
Yeah.
At the minimum. Probably at the maximum, much longer.
Okay.
Anyway, we were excited, but the biggest thing, the couple things we were most excited about, like you were saying, is number one, night away.
Yeah.
Number two, I was excited for because I had a realization of this. Really, in the last year, you and I really haven't had alone time.
Yeah.
Where it was just you and me when we weren't recording this podcast or in bed about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's basically when we get alone time as new parents, right? And so it was a 2.5+ hour drive down where you and I could kind of like, we discussed of what we want the podcast to be and some goals, and then like
came up with some fun ideas for the YouTube channel,
for YouTube, for Patreon, for all these different things, and it was a good time, and we had that both ways, on the way down and the way back up, and we just had some really great stuff. You
and I are very good at a road trip. You can put us in a car together, and we're gonna have a good time.
That's why so many people listen to us on road trips.
Oh, that's probably true.
Because, a lot of people don't.
Our trips to and from DC probably sounded like a podcast.
There were times.
Remember when I saw that store that was the cremation place?
You wrote it down. What's the name?
What did I write it called? Oh, it was called Let's Talk, cremation.
Yeah. We were losing it because I
was like, the branding is strong.
But the comma. The comma is what blows my mind because it's Let's Talk cremation.
Yeah.
But the comma indicates a pause.
Yeah.
So at first, like, let's talk cremation. Like, it's just like how.
Hey, let's talk cremation.
Yeah. Let's talk cremation. Like, it's what?
I love
it. It's a funeral.
It doesn't matter. It was the greatest sign I ever saw.
Let me talk to a cremation.
Hey, whoa, no talk to it. That podcast can't beat us in the rankings anymore because it doesn't exist.
I don't know if it doesn't exist. I just know that she's currently turning state's witness for NFTs.
Well, no,
crypto.
she like abandoned the podcast.
Did she abandon the podcast?
I think she did. I think she did the crypto poll.
They did the crypto poll.
And then she disappeared, and there's no more podcast, I thought.
I don't know if there's no more podcast or if she took a break. Hold on. Why are we going this deep on to talk to her?
It's like the number one podcast in the world.
We have enough to talk to about each other.
Pardon me. Yes, that's
okay.
true.
All right. And
so we're
let's
driving.
talk cremation.
Let's talk cremation.
I don't want to be cremated.
Oh, okay.
Okay. My death. I want a very boomer funeral.
Okay.
I want 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
One, I want a wake.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to come for a viewing wake.
Sure.
Okay. Then I want the funeral.
Okay.
And I want the funeral to be long.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Very religious.
Oh.
Uncomfortably religious
That's
funeral.
Strange.
I know, because I'm not religious at all.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's odd.
So I want a very uncomfortably religious, incredibly.
Wow.
To the point where people are like, was he really religious? And you're like, no.
He wasn't. I don't know.
And like, is this Catholic? Like, I want it to be very confusing.
Yeah.
And then big, weirdly timed afternoon, like, is it lunch or is it dinner?
Yeah.
Like
okay.
a 2:30.
Yeah.
Okay? I've ruined your whole morning.
Yeah.
And you missed lunch.
Yep.
But you're getting a big meal. But now technically I'm ruining dinner too.
Yeah. Because you're going to get stuck in traffic.
But now you're going to get stuck in traffic. It's at least going to be 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
It starts around 1:45.
Is this food served buffet or a la carte?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Oh, no.
It's one of those where there's a carving station, but they're not ready.
Oh, my God.
And that's like that's the thing that holds it all together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Perfect.
That's my plan.
Okay.
And then I want to be put. And, oh boy, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I also then need to be put in the ground.
Yeah. Where do you want
That's
that
a
to be?
different day.
Oh, a third day.
A third day.
The internment, they call
the
that.
internment.
Okay.
Different day. So day 3, we're on internment.
Oh my God.
And I want to be put wherever is going to ruin real estate prices the most. I want to take up space.
Yeah. Good
Okay?
idea. Good idea.
I want to take up space.
Okay.
And I want to be in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Headstone, tall.
Smart. Yeah.
I want one of those pillars.
Okay.
You know the
cool.
ones that looks like
that
the
you see
Washington
them at
Monument?
that you see at the mausoleums.
I don't want a
like
mausoleum.
No, but like when you go to those type of things, they always have like.
Yeah. I don't want the little plaque on the ground. No. I don't want the headstones where you could trip on them.
Yeah.
No. I want, like, if you're running and you're trying to catch a football and you don't look, if you hit it,
with your face.
Concussion.
With your face.
I want, yeah.
Okay, so you're in the ground.
I'm in the ground.
You have a monument.
A monument to me. With a curse on it.
Oh, a curse to your enemies?
No, to whoever disturbs my resting place.
Got it.
And I want the curse written in Latin.
Oh God!
Just so that way,
annoying, so they won't know.
That way they won't know. And then they translate it afterwards because now all their luck's turned.
Yeah.
And then they have to put me back.
And this is the start of a movie.
This is not the start of the movie. Yeah, this is the ending of my story.
Oh my God. For my funeral proceedings.
Oh, you're getting cremated. We're just cremating you.
In the words of my late great grandma. Just stick a bone in my ass and let the dogs carry me away.
There you go.
So,
yeah, I know you don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What am I worried about?
I know. For me, mine is all about just how many. Because like once I'm dead, I spent most of my life trying to not be inconvenient to other people. Like we had a fridge delivered, y'all. It was a whole thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
We didn't have it on the list.
It's not even on the list of things.
They showed up with no fridge.
Oh my God, wait. Shut up. Let me explain this. We've been hoarding our little pennies because our fridge broke. And we're like, okay, we got to get a new fridge because, you know, it's one thing, you and I, we've lived with a landlord special fridge for our whole lives. We're fine with a shitty fridge. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But there's a baby here. And there are certain things babies need. And number one is a fridge.
A working fridge.
So when our fridge broke, we were like, fuck. And so we went to the store. We got a new fridge.
Went to Best Buy.
And we got this new fridge. And we got a pretty good deal on it, and we got a gift card for more money, so we can eventually buy, hopefully, a dishwasher.
Yep.
And so we're like, okay, we're adulting really hard on this day.
And we set up a delivery date for Black Friday because we wanted it to be after.
It had to be after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The sales guy was like, oh, we want it before Thanksgiving? I was like, absolutely not.
Oh, no, it wasn't Black Friday. It was actually a little bit after that.
But, so they drive over our house for delivery day.
Yep.
Beep, beep, we're ready. We have the whole fridge cleared out. All the food is in, like, coolers.
Yep.
And I'd wiped it down. I got everything done. And the guys show up. They come in the door. We have to remove the door from the frame because the things are so big.
Yep.
And the guy starts dismantling our fridge. And then he looks at his coworker and he goes, hey, so we got to go. And then he goes and talks to you, and I hear your tone pitch a little, and I said, what's going on in there? Turns out they drove the truck to our house to deliver our new fridge and take away our old fridge. They did not have our new fridge on the truck.
They did, and they had already dismantled our old one.
Yes.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And
because they got in a truck with our address and said, we're going to deliver a fridge, but there was no fridge on the truck.
Yeah. Because basically what y'all need to understand is Best Buy used to, back in the day, Geek Squad and their delivery stuff used to be in-house. And they realized they could save money by hiring outside delivery men. Yeah. And so these guys who showed up to the house, they were outside delivery men. And how do they do their deliveries? Well, they drive to a Best Buy warehouse where everything is loaded up on the trucks to them. And then everything's scanned in through all these scanners, all this different stuff. Basically, those guys showed up at the warehouse at 7 a.m. They had all of their inventory stacked, all the new fridges put onto their truck, and then they drove away. Our fridge did not arrive at the warehouse. Wasn't there.
Yeah.
However, what was there was one water line cable.
Yeah.
So they still had a delivery to make. But when they pulled up, they're like, we deliver fridges. But at this point, the system actually was telling them that they're only delivering a water line cable, but it never made sense because this has never happened to them before. Yeah. So then I'm like, well, what do we do? And the guy's like, I guess you got to call Best Buy. And then he just gets in the truck and drives away. I'm like, you dismantled my fridge. So like, I lose my mind. I started calling Best Buy. Best Buy calls me because I guess he called them from the truck and was like, hey, you need to go reset that up. So Best Buy calls me back and they're like, hey, oh no, it was Cyber Monday. That's what it was. It was Cyber Monday. And Best Buy calls me back and they're like, hey, just so you know, we don't got a delivery date for like 2 more weeks. And I was like, you fucked up though. Like, yeah, sucks. We don't have the room. Yeah. So fuck you. And I was like, all right, I just took the date that they gave me. Yeah. I was like, whatever. I took it. And then I was like, all right.
And then he did that thing that he does where he got madder and madder and madder.
Just all day.
Like I was pacing. The steam was building in his ears like a Looney Tunes character. Yeah. And I knew what was going to happen. I knew he was going to yell into his phone in some capacity.
Yeah. You were like, he's going to cut a TikTok. And I was like, I didn't. But the thing is like, I have a hatred of celebrities and content creators who use their platforms for clout and complaints, because usually it happens on airports and airplanes. Usually, Delta, I was guaranteed a first class seat, and but I was like sitting there and I was like, I didn't want to do that.
What's her name? That comedian lady I love. Oh, I can't remember her name. She the only one I'll say is valid is I remember she was on like an American Airlines flight, I think. And they brought her the blanket because she like had, I guess she was on business class and they were bringing blankets. And when she opened the blanket, there was a poop in there.
That's different.
There was a poop in there. But that's the only valid one.
But I know, but saying, but this is the situation I was stuck in. Is I had a poopy blanket.
You had a poopy
blanket. They literally took our fridge apart.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So finally, I made a Threads post. Yep. I went on Threads. And I was like, fuck this. And I posted on Threads and I tagged Best Buy. And then I put it in my Instagram stories and I tagged them on Instagram. Because again, back in the day, you would use Twitter for this. This is a Twitter thing.
Nicole Byer, yes.
That's
what I was thinking of.
So I did it on, I was like, whatever. Did it on Instagram. Didn't really think about it. And then
it blew the fuck up.
It blew up. And I literally am not looking at my phone. I'm not, because I'm just mad. So I'm so mad, I'm just trying not to look at my phone because I'm like, I don't want to make a TikTok where I'm screaming at Best Buy. Yeah. How is that going to fix anything? And then finally, after like hours, I'm playing with the baby, all this different stuff, and just so mad. And then I look at my phone, I'm like, oh, I have so many messages from Best Buy Direct, like, hey, how can we make this right? What do we do? Blah, blah. And so I had a back and forth with Best Buy because they're like, hey, we can fix this. We just need your name, your phone number, your home address, and your ticket number. Yeah. And I was like, here's my confirmation number. You have my name from my account. Yeah. I'm not giving a stranger.
We were like, we're not putting that information in the
I'm not
DMs.
doxing myself in a DM. And this went back and forth until I was like, call the number on the receipt. I was like, you have a phone number. It's my phone number. Yeah. Call it. And finally, they're like, do we have your... I was like, call me. And they finally did. And then they could confirm me. And they're like, we're going to try... We can't make any promises. But basically, instead of it taking 2 weeks, we got a new fridge in like 3 days. Yeah. But that was my moment where I was like, oh. But of course, it's also one of those things where I finally like did put out a post like, thank you to Best Buy for making it right. It got like 3 likes. Yeah. But the original fuck Best Buy got like 9,000. I'm like, this is just how life is.
That's how it goes. But yeah, we got the fridge, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, back to DC.
Oh yeah, because we're driving to DC.
We were driving to DC, coming up with good ideas.
Yeah, because of cremation. That's right.
And talking about our hotel room. But the thing is, we didn't know if they were going to feed us because you've been in the White House before and they didn't feed you.
Yes.
So I was like, listen, I'm not going anywhere hungry.
And also, you're gluten-free, so you don't know if there's anything you could eat.
You never know. So I was like, we got to go eat. So I was like, let's go to Chinatown because they have a conveyor belt sushi place, and you've never been to a conveyor belt sushi place.
And I've always wanted to go. There's 2 things I've always wanted to do in my life when it comes to food. It has nothing to do with the food itself. It's all about how it's served.
Yeah.
Number 1, conveyor belt sushi has been a dream of mine the entire life. I'm going to replace it with the boat sushis.
Yeah.
They have ones where there's like a little water that runs and you put it on little boats.
That's so cute.
I want that. I know they exist. I heard there's one in Colorado, but I don't trust being in a landlocked place to get fish.
That's too far away from oceans.
That's what I'm feeling about it. But the conveyor belt sushi, but the other one is an old school 1940s, 1950s style automat.
Yeah.
Where you go and you put the quarter in and get a slice of pie.
Yep.
You open a little door, get a little slice of pie.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that.
Like an advent calendar.
I've always wanted to go to one of those, and they have never every time they try to make a new one, I'm like, oh, I write down where it's going to be, and then they always go out of business within 6 months.
Yeah. Because we're also used to like customization.
Yeah, I think so. But also, I just wanted to the idea of a vending machine restaurant is appealing to me in a weird way. And that's why we were so excited. You took me to this conveyor belt sushi place. You didn't tell me it was conveyor belt sushi. You just said, we're getting sushi.
Yeah.
And it's in Chinatown. It's around the corner. And we went over there, and
then we both cursed in the streets because we saw what happened in DC Chinatown.
Because
we haven't been there to DC Chinatown since they built their stadium.
Their arena,
which ruined Chinatown.
Which now Philadelphia is going to do.
Yeah.
And we were
just cursing on the
which
streets.
literally days after we went to DC's Chinatown and saw how the local arena there destroyed their Chinatown. Yeah. Philadelphia City Council passed the rule that'll allow the Philadelphia 76ers to build a basketball arena to destroy Philadelphia's Chinatown.
Yeah.
Which is a place that we love. Some of our first dates ever were in Philadelphia's Chinatown. I have so many great memories.
Listen to me. If we could drive to David's Melewa right now.
That one place with the roadie. That one, the roadie bread I love.
Oh, the banana leaf.
Yeah, banana leaf. There's so many places in Philly's Chinatown because it's also right by the convention center, and there's so many other things.
Yeah, Reading Terminal's right there.
Yeah, Chinatown in Philly has been battling to not be destroyed by developers and by the Philadelphia City Council for so fucking long. And so when we got to DC's Chinatown and we saw so many great local family-owned businesses like Walgreens and AT&T. What was the other one? There was like a Taco Bell.
Yeah, but with the Chinese dragon on it. So boom, there you go.
Yeah, but they had the names in Mandarin next to it.
Because that's the whole thing is as long as they use the imagery, it's still okay.
But it's this is just a Walgreens. This isn't like a local Chinese family pharmacist.
No.
Like we have in Philly. So I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck? And so,
but then I said, go into this door and shut up.
Yeah, we went around the corner, and then there was the little, the conveyor belt sushi place. And then the second I got in there, I calmed down because it was amazing.
It was so fun.
It was so incredible. This is a lifetime dream.
We ate too much sushi.
We really did. So here's the thing that happens when you go there. It's all little plates, and there's a conveyor belt that runs past everybody. And everybody you can just grab. They have little bubbles, and you kind of pull the little plates out.
Yeah.
And each of them will have 2, or if there's a couple rolls, so if you get a California roll, there'll be 4 rolls there.
Yeah.
But every plate is basically $3.80.
Yeah.
And so you can just grab plates. And so I was trying sushi I've never tried before because usually when I go to a traditional sushi restaurant or you buy a tray from the grocery store or whatever,
Wegmans.
When you get that, or a gas station.
Okay, don't buy gas station sushi.
Gas station sushi, baby. Listen, we're drinking raw milk and eating gas station sushi, baby. 2025. Whoa,
it's going to be a weird year.
Yeah. How did they get sick? We haven't even gotten there yet.
I know, we haven't even talked about how we got sick.
But it wasn't the sushi.
No, it wasn't.
The sushi was actually.
The sushi was so good.
It was the best sushi I've had ever.
I had this one.
I think.
It was like a tuna, and it had a little bit of toasted sesame seed oil on it. Oh my god!
You talking about seed oils?
Yeah,
seed oils are banned.
Seed oils. I had so many of them, and then so here's the thing: when you're eating them, you pull it from the plate, and then in the table
there's a little chute.
And you put the plate. You
drop it down,
and that's how they count how much you've eaten.
Yeah, because on the bottom of it there's a QR code that it scans.
Yeah,
and so it racks up. And here's what's great.
Yeah,
the more plates you get, the more you put in.
Yeah, the
more chances you have to win a keychain.
I was gonna bring up the keychain.
I know, and it's this cute little keychain. And so at one point, like we're starting to get full, but I'm like, I'm getting a fucking keychain.
Yeah.
So we had between us 19 plates.
Yep.
Of all sorts of different stuff.
Tried everything.
We tried everything. And again, because like at a traditional place, you get like the rolls so I usually get like a salmon or a crunchy tuna or rainbow rolls, like about as crazy as I usually get.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get a special. But for the most part, like I wouldn't have tried like jalapeno yellowtail or whatever it was.
Or that grilled one.
Or there's the scallops. Listen,
we went crazy. I just need to know.
It was the highlight. We went so nuts. A robot delivered our sodas. And let me tell you something. When I'm at a Chili's and a robot delivers food, I get mad because that's destroying workers.
Yeah.
But when I'm at a conveyor belt sushi place and a robot, I was like, how fun.
Yeah.
How fun.
Fun.
Oh, how
fun. But the robot forgot our drink, so we had to go get a human.
Yeah, we did. She
was lovely.
Yeah, you ordered a Diet Coke. I ordered a regular Coke. And the robot brought a Diet Coke and a water. And I was like,
Yeah. I'm not getting charged for that either.
But yeah, no, we had so much fun. And
we ate a lot of sushi.
We were so full.
And I did get a keychain.
You did get a keychain.
I was going to say my insider secret is that if you go to this sushi places like this and they have like the vending, because it's like got a vending machine above you. So if you win with your plates, that's how it gets shot down at you. You have to save up your plates because if you do one plate every 5 minutes, it's like it's counting it, but it's not as the machine doesn't like it as if you had it like 10 plates and you go pop, 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 pop. And then suddenly there's like a shark on the screen.
It looks like when you're bowling.
Yeah.
It's like bowling animation. It's like, you got to strike.
Yeah. Except it's a a little anime shark. Yeah. It was so cute. Anyway, we had a great time.
Yeah.
And then we waddled out of there.
Waddled. And we really did. We were so full because we took a car there and then we walked back because I was just so full.
Yeah, we had to walk back.
And then
we stopped at Macy's to spray expensive perfumes on ourselves.
We did. We are like, listen, but here's the thing: we weren't dressed. We were dressed nice.
We were just nice,
but we weren't. When we finally got to the line of people was so long.
Yeah.
And did I pull a move? Boy, did I ever pull a move?
I'll
admit it.
You're gonna admit to this.
I'll fucking admit it. So we're walking up to the line, and like, cause it's like on this one side of the White House, and you have to go through all these different layers of security to get in.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, there's gonna be people. I didn't think that I didn't realize they invited like 1,000 people.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
It was so many people. So I walk up, and the line is like down
around the block.
But I see a guy I know.
Yeah.
My friend Jason. Mm-hmm. And he's near the front. He had been there for a while. I mean, he came in from Oklahoma, so like he had been there for a while. He didn't drive in that afternoon like us. So I'm like, oh my God, Jason. And like, I got to introduce you because he had never met you. And then we're like talking and I'm like, all right, talking. And then we see more people. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then you saw met at the governor's mansion the day before. So that you're already like chatting with people. So we're kind of standing, I want to say we're in the front, like 20 people. Yeah. Again, there's like 400 people, 500 people in this line. And we're talking all of a sudden, we're like right near the time. The line starts moving.
Sketchy.
And then I just start walking. Oh no. And so were we like the first people? Yeah, sure.
And then there were people further back in the line be like, we saw what you did, Pearlmans.
And I was just like, what?
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean? So we got through security, which was crazy.
And then we got in.
It was beautiful.
It was really decked out.
Dr. Jill, she did a great job.
She did.
She did an immaculate
Melania
job.
could never.
Melania doesn't understand camp.
No.
And Jill understands camp.
But Jill also understands. Jill's also from Delco.
Yeah, exactly.
There was one room. What are those trees called?
It's a porcelain Christmas tree with the little lights that stick out
like
of
the
it.
little gumdrop lights. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Picture what your mom's Christmas
and
would
they
look
put a
like.
little light bulb in it.
Yeah.
And so it lights up. It's like a night bright things
yeah.
in it. Night
yeah.
bright things.
Yeah, kind of. Those little lights.
Yeah.
They had one room that was just those.
Hundreds of them.
There
was giant ones, mini ones. There was one that were spinning.
Yeah.
There was one that was big and then had other little ones on it because it was actually a shelf.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And it was just really, really nice. But also beautiful. You got to meet a lot of people who, again, it's like a different crew of people. So these are more political, for the most part, content creators. And a lot of them who I had met going to things like VidCon and the DNC versus when we were in the governor's mansion in
Yeah.
Harrisburg. Because Harrisburg, again, was more about being from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania stuff.
It was like
DC
really
was
specific.
across the country.
People from all over.
Yeah.
And actual celebrities.
There was the guy from Key and Peele was there.
Yeah. Yep.
Keegan
Keegan
Michael Keel.
That's
No?
not his name at all. You're thinking George. You just combined them.
Oh, okay.
Keegan
Great.
Michael Key.
Got it.
Yes.
And who else was there? Oh, the other guy, the guy from that 70s show was
Yeah,
there. And I said,
yeah.
don't go near him.
Yeah. Wilmer Valderrama. We were stuck as they were at the end. They're pushing us out.
Yeah.
And I like turn, and you're with someone else. You were talking, and you're like, but you both
Bookler.
were like, yeah. You both were like, who is talking? Who is he? You're talking to Liz,
I was
Liz
talking
Booker.
to her. I was talking to Liz Booker, and I was like, "That's Wilder Valderrama," but I wasn't saying Wilmer
Yeah.
Valderrama or
Yeah.
something.
You kept
But
saying it weird.
I kept saying the last name weird because I was like, "I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce this," and she's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I was like, "No, right there, Wilder Valderrama." And so then he like sees us looking at him and like gives like the celebrity wave, and then
Yeah.
you turn around and you're like, "Oh, it's that guy," and then I was like, get away from him because I was like, don't get in a picture with Wilder.
Yeah, because part of me, I was like, oh, I'll take a selfie with him.
And I was like,
then,
no.
Which, by the way, just so you guys know, has been the last 2 years of my life has been friends and family of mine. Because I'll see a famous person and be like, oh, I'll get a selfie. Like, it's fine. Look, I met a famous person. And them specifically being like, crimes.
Yeah.
They just start yelling, no, crimes.
Yeah,
Like,
and I was like, do you not know what he did to Demi Lovato? And
I didn't.
I know. But so I start whispering to you, and I'm like,
You started listing all of them.
I was like, listen to me. Lindsay Lohan, Demi Lovato, and the other lady.
Amanda
Bynes.
Yeah.
I was
But
like, he ruined so many women. But then, shut up. And then so Wendy was like talking to me, and there's a different lady talking to me. And she goes, oh my God, Wilder, I love you in ER.
No, Grey's Anatomy. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm from, like, starts talking about Grey's Anatomy. And I was like, you're not from Grey's Anatomy. You're from you're Fez. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you are Fez.
Meanwhile, because you were talking to my friend Liz Booker, Liz is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking the two of us, we should mention him doing Yo Mama from MTV. And then this third person shows up and was like, no, I love you in the most recent thing you're doing. And we're all like, Grey's Anatomy's still on the air? Like, we were like confused.
And the whole time I'm just pulling you away. I'm like, we got to get away from this guy.
Yeah. Because
I don't want any images of you near him.
Because
okay,
there was someone very important I had to meet.
Who? Oh, shut up.
And then this is before we met Randa Wilmer.
When we were driving to DC,
joking.
We were joking about the people we were going to meet at the White House.
Yes.
And I had said it would be so fucking funny if you got to meet specifically, not me, but you got to meet Hunter Biden.
Yes.
And we were in one of the rooms, and somebody came in and was like, oh my God, Hunter Biden's over there. And the way that you and I stopped talking to everyone and just silently ran to the next room.
So one of the things is at the White House Christmas party, the big deal about it, besides you get to be at the White House, besides the beautiful spread of food, because they did actually have amazing food.
They did have a lot of food. We
they had
didn't even
amazing
eat it.
food. We were so full from sushi, we didn't eat any of it.
There were crab claws.
Whole crab claws, just laid out. So beyond all that, looking through everything and trying to like take it all in.
Yeah.
One of the things that they make a big deal about is you can sit in the old chairs.
Yeah.
And specifically the red and the green room. They have these very, very old chairs, and we have a picture of us sitting in one of the old chairs. Because like people are like, this is
nobody's allowed to
when
sit
there's
in
the
chairs.
tour, there's just rope up for all these different rooms. And if you go like click through like a White House tour, if you actually ever get to take one, because you can reach out to your congressman, by the way, to take a tour of the White House, the Capitol, all these different things. They have like tickets they can give away, like a certain amount. And I've done the tour when I was a kid. So I'd been in these rooms in like 1992 when George H.W. Bush was president. Like I took like a Boy Scout trip. Yeah. And we walked through. I was like, oh man, look at the old chair.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting in it with my wife. I'm like, this is so cool. And then someone walked in, was like, Hunter Biden's in the other room. He's taking selfies with people. And we just like, I looked at you. We stood up silently and just started moving.
We didn't say anything to anyone around us.
We just started moving. And we get over there and we get to the other side. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it after this little break. We're back.
And we're talking about Hunter Biden.
So we're sitting and we get up.
We run.
No, we didn't. You can't run in the White House.
No,
They'll shoot you.
Yeah,
They'll shoot you. Because we also heard that Flavor Flav was that. I was like, I gotta fucking find Flavor Flav. And when we saw Keegan-Michael Key, I really wanted to get a picture with him and talk to him briefly.
Yeah.
Because one of the big jokes that has come up for the last 18 months as I've been in this content creator space is oftentimes people have talked about me doing the anger translator role.
Yeah, you're the anger translator.
Where people who haven't been able to communicate anger very well.
Yeah.
To show up behind them and just scream a ton of curse words.
Yeah.
While they're talking normal.
Yeah.
And it was this would be a fun idea. And so I really wanted to be hey, just that was a thing that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So we hear about Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up. I'm I gotta go try to find him. Because who knows? So he's mobbed. He's right inside this one doorway in this I think it's the East Wing.
Yep.
East Room of the White House. He's mobbed. And also I keep taking into my mind that we're in the East Room of the White House. It's this big gold room. This is where JFK gave speeches, famous speeches. And I'm in here where's the president's crackhead son? I need to find him. And so I get around the corner.
And there's a lady, she's he wants a McNugget. And I was I don't. I'm really trying to find Hunter Biden right now.
Yeah, and so people are oh my God, I love your stuff. I'm cool, fuck off. And I just keep moving because there's so many different layers of content creators and everything. And I'm oh my God. And then I see him. I'm there he is. Hunter Biden. And so now I'm using everything in my power from my knowledge of security and going to concerts to move through this crowd. I'm just trying to, because it's so cramped. And I'm just trying to get around to get into what seems like the line. Because I'm how do you I can see Secret Service is watching.
Yeah.
Because he's the president's son. So I can't push my way in. I have to be, how do I do this? And so I get around to the front of where he's facing with other people and he's taking pictures. So I get in the line of people who are taking the pictures.
Yeah.
Not the people who are taking the pictures with him, the people who are holding the phones. And I'm I hand my phone off to you and I'm going to, and this one guy's he's finally going to take a picture with Hunter Biden. And I'm oh, I'll take it for you.
Yeah.
So he hands me his phone. And Hunter Biden looks at the guy and goes, and the guy's hi, Hunter, blah, blah. And he's trying to explain who he is. And Hunter Biden looks at the guy dead in the face. He goes, I'll be honest with you, pal. I got no idea who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing. And then Hunter Biden points to me. He goes, you should be more like this guy. He points right into my face. He goes, you should be more like this guy. You see, this guy has a look. This guy's memorable. And I'm thinking in my head, he's talking about the fact that I have red hair and a beard.
Yeah.
Long hair. I have a distinct look.
Yeah.
Right?
It stinks.
Thanks. That's what I'm thinking. And so then I hand the guy his phone back, and then he goes, you want to take a picture of me? I said, yeah. And you have my phone.
Yep.
And I step forward, and he goes, no, but you do have a memorable look. I've watched your stuff. And I was yeah. He's yeah, you're one of my favorite content creators.
Yeah.
And so the picture I put on Instagram of me clutching my chest and looking into that's real.
Yeah.
He legit is yeah, I watched a ton of your stuff.
I follow you on TikTok.
Yeah, he said I follow you across everything. And then I looked at him, I was what? And he went, yeah, I'm being for real. And that's the exact phrase he said. He said, I'm being for real. And that broke my brain. Because as many of you know, Joe Biden's I'm being serious right now. I'm not. No joke.
Yeah.
I'm being serious right now. No joke. And he went, I'm being for real right now. And I was that's the difference. What?
Apple doesn't fall far from
the
tree.
No, and it was such a moment.
Yeah.
And then realizing and thinking back to how many times I've yelled "Free Hunter" onto TikTok.
So many
and
times.
Knowing somewhere out there, Hunter Biden was ripping on a menthol, being fuck yeah, dude, I'm going to show this to my dad. There's no way. There's no fucking way.
There's no way.
And so that was...
Hunter Biden was yo, this video is hilarious. Let me show my dad. And your dad's I'm banning that app.
Yeah. Yeah. So I legit I was losing my mind about this. I couldn't imagine it. I was this is so dumb.
It was the funniest thing.
It was the funniest. It was so funny.
Who did I meet that I liked? I'm trying to... Oh, you know who I met? You don't know who she is. But I met Jackie Aina. And for the listeners that will know that I met Jackie Aina. And she is Gorgina in person. Mm-hmm. Just a supermodel. I was who is that beautiful woman? Holy shit, that's Jackie Aina.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was starstruck.
I kept meeting...
And she's 4'9".
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm 5'10".
The people I kept meeting are that I had never met before. So a lot of people I'd met, for me, it was almost like a high school reunion. It was oh my God, this friend. Oh my God, this friend. I met this person. And then I'd introduce you and we'd talk. And they'd be oh, there's a baby here. And I'm no. Who would bring a baby? And then...
There were babies there.
There were babies. There were so many babies there. And then the ones that kept getting me though is you'd walk up, you're like, who are you talking to? And I would think, oh, this is so and so, and then we'd walk away. You're like, who was that? You're like, I hate that person, because they were all resistance Twitter accounts.
Oh, you're not me. You hated them.
No, I hated them.
Yeah.
It was. I would meet guys, and I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. And I'm like, you're just resistance grifters from the first Trump administration, who would just be on there every day, be like, it's Adolf Twitler said today, Cheeto Benito. I'm like, you did nothing. You did nothing, and you make $500,000 a year from your fucking Substack, you scumbags.
Yeah.
You do nothing.
Yeah.
And I was so mad.
So we kept that on the inside.
I kept that in here.
Kept it inside. And who's my favorite? With the fur coat, who I can never remember his name.
Kalen Allen.
Kalen was there. He showed up a little late. And
of course he showed up
late because he's actually a celebrity.
Yeah.
And I was like, we hugged each other, and he's like, it's the last time we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Last time. And I was like, I know.
Yeah.
He like literally reached out and touched one of the fireplaces. He's like, I'm never going to touch this again. Gotta do it now. And if you go back and you find Kalen's TikTok or on Instagram, he made a video about the White House, and it is the funniest.
Yeah, it's him crying.
Fucking video.
It's playing
Whitney Houston. It is I saw this video. I was weeping. I was like, this is exactly. It's everything I was thinking. It was incredible.
Yeah. So with that being said, we
didn't go to the after party.
Yeah, we went to one after party, and we were there like long enough to be like, we're old.
I was like, it's loud in here.
It was so loud and old, and we were so old.
Seating.
There was like 2 chairs.
You need to have seating.
So it was also like in like an empty room.
Yeah.
That they had like a DJ set up in the corner whose treble was too high.
Too loud.
And I had 2 beers, and I looked at you, and I'm like, we're done.
Yeah, I was like,
and then also I looked over at like some pretty moderately famous 21-year-old influencers who were like blackout drunk on like 3 drinks.
Yeah.
And you're looking at them, and I'm like, they're weird. But I was like, baby, we're just old.
I was like,
we're just old, and they went to Zoom school. Okay,
I was like, we gotta get out of here.
We're old.
Yeah.
They went to Zoom school.
And I was like, you were like, oh, do you want to, maybe I should have another drink. And I was like, if you don't understand about this fucking hotel room, I'm about to go sleep.
Yeah, you're like,
you better say goodbye to all your friends. The night's over.
Yeah, you're like, the night's over and the country's doomed.
Actually, that's a lie, because we had dinner reservations.
Oh yeah, we went and had dinner. We had a nice dinner, but hold on, it doesn't matter. We had a quick nice dinner, and then we went to bed.
Yeah.
And we go to sleep, and we had these beautiful blackout curtains, and I woke up what I thought was 5 a.m. We went to bed, by the way, but us going to bed, it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was 10 p.m. we went to bed.
Yeah.
I woke up, I thought it was 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the thing. It was almost 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Because the blackout curtains were that strong.
Then they knocked us out, and I was like, we got to get up because we got to get to the breakfast buffet before the checkout.
Yeah, we got to get breakfast buffet in the
baby. If you think I'm
baby.
paying for this hotel and not getting the breakfast omelet bar,
yeah, we rushed downstairs, got just inside the omelet bar.
Wait, I know we just skipped over the dinner, but do you remember that there was lamb in the hummus?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to bring it up.
Okay. Yeah, we went to a really fancy restaurant. It was nice. This was the most romance Mrs. P and I had in a year. And the entire time we just kept talking about how excited we were to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like, we weren't like, oh my God, it's the 2 of us. We're being so romantic. We're falling back in love. We're like, I'm going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep
gonna snore
fucking hard.
Right in your face. And I was like, what? You're like, I'm going to call you my little snore pig. So there was that. And then we drove home, picked up the baby. And then a couple days after that, I had a comedy show. Yeah. I opened for my friend Doogie Horner. A lot of you guys came, which thank you so much for all the listeners that came.
Super fun.
And the day after that, I woke up sick.
You woke up sick. And we all took COVID tests because we had just gone to big parties.
We had multiple big parties.
No COVID, all negative.
No, yeah.
But you were still very sick.
I was very, very, very sick. And I wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's okay. Well, it's fine. I guess we're just going to have to go through it for a day or so.
Yeah, we're like, oh, that's fine because it was like Friday-ish.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, the weekend, and then Christmas was the next week.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, we'll get this done before Christmas.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And then so that was Friday. You were basically dead in bed.
Yep.
And, the baby and I were just hanging out, vibing.
Yep. And then
getting ready for Christmas.
Yep.
Wrapping gifts, all the stuff. Getting ready I had to go to the grocery store to buy stuff to bake stuff for all the parties. And then that Saturday morning, woke up. You were dead in bed. So I went and got the babes. And I'm looking at the babes, and I'm saying, that baby ain't well.
Nope.
That baby is not well.
Nope.
Turns out, babes got chicken pox.
Yeah. Pearl baby was covered in the pox.
He got the pox. He had gotten his vaccine.
Yep.
And he got a breakthrough case because it's a live vaccine. There's like a 1% chance that you can get chickenpox from the live vaccine.
Yep.
And my boy's a 1%er.
Yeah. Yeah, so few of the vaccines have a little bit of the actual virus in them.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is crazy vaccine people would call this a vaccine injury.
Yeah.
Because they're insane and they're stupid.
Yeah.
Because we come from a generation pre-chickenpox vaccine.
Yeah.
When I was little, I got chickenpox. And it was great because when you're a kid, like there used to be these things called chickenpox parties. So when one kid would get chickenpox in the neighborhood or at the school, parents, when their kids were young enough, would then make sure their kids played with the kid covered in chickenpox.
Yeah.
Because the idea is you want to get it younger. Because when you get it older, there's a lot more danger. And one thing that happened, I think it was the early 90s, they finally came up with a vaccine for chickenpox.
Yeah.
And so chickenpox, for the most part, has actually been eradicated in America.
Yeah.
For the most part. And so if you get the vaccine, what this does is it gives you a little tiny bit of the virus. So then your body can build up antibodies to it. Because it's the same thing from back in the day when you would have a chickenpox party. The little kid would get chickenpox, bing, bang, boom, never going to get chickenpox again.
You build up an immunity.
You build up that immunity.
Yeah.
And so our kid gets the shot, and it takes about 5 to 7 days, and we're right there in the window. And why did we have our kid get his shot right on his birthday?
Because I was scared RFK Jr. was going to make all the vaccines illegal, so I wanted to get them as soon as possible.
Yes. And then what happened? Our son got sick from the vaccine. And so I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck? And so
anyway, we're both huge RFK supporters now.
Yeah, we're huge into it, baby. We
Big
drink
into
raw
it.
milk every day. Give me that chunky milk.
Chunky monkey.
Give me that
You know what
chunky
I hate?
milk.
Fluoride in water. That's what I'm saying.
We're really stop enriching milks. Stop enriching the milks. Anyway, so the kid.
The baby.
Well, he's one now, so now he's a kid.
No, he's a kid. The baby got chickenpox.
Yeah.
So you're dead in bed.
I'm dead.
I look at this child and I go, oh my God, I think this is chickenpox.
And then you wake me up. So now what happens now, just to give you guys a cliff notes, is every day that I'm sick or because then she also gets sick. She gets the cough that I get, which wasn't COVID. We tested multiple times. It wasn't COVID. It's something other thing that's going around right now. But it was funny to text people, I think Hunter Biden gave me COVID. I kept texting people, I think Hunter Biden gave me COVID.
Well, you guys shouldn't have been kissing so much.
Well, you know what? He just kept saying, you're my favorite. But all that being said, every day I would be like dying and be woken up like, the baby has chickenpox. I have a fever. Blah, blah, blah. Every day, I was like, so every day I've woken up into the most stressful situation possible during our vacation.
This vacation we're supposed to have.
But we had to do telehealth.
I did the telehealth with
for the baby.
Doctor.
Yep.
To confirm, because people are like, oh, it could be eczema, it could be psoriasis, whatever, and I'm like, I don't think so.
This could be hoof and mouth disease.
I was like, I think I know exactly what this is. What I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And so he got confirmed, and then we had to monitor and take care of the situation. Oatmeal baths, calamine lotion.
Yep.
A lot of naps.
And the thing is and again,
he's in bed sick.
Yeah. I'm in bed sick, but we don't have everything prepared. So I would have to be sick taking care of the baby because Mrs. P, who felt the healthiest at the time, had to run to the pharmacy or the grocery store, all these different places.
I had to get all the Pedialyte and a new thermometer.
Yes.
And, it was a whole thing. I had to call all of our family members and tell them cancel Christmas.
Yeah, we had to cancel Christmas. Christmas was canceled. Why? Because of wokes. Because of the vax. The vaccine and the wokes canceled Christmas.
Okay. So this is our new pivot into...
We're here to tell you that we're true MAGA.
No.
We're Maha.
Maha? What's that one?
Make America healthy again.
Oh, no.
That's what the RFK people call themselves now.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Everybody was sick. And then a few days as the baby was getting better, you started to get a little better. I started to get really sick.
Yeah. Christmas Day, so right before Christmas, the baby was starting to get better. His spots were finally starting to turn. So with chickenpox, you have these spots kind of pop up, and some of them will pop, literally pop like pimples.
Don't get too graphic.
The little blisters, and then you wait for them to scab over. Once they scab over, all the scabs are scabbed over, the baby is no longer contagious.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for that moment. Mrs. P gets sick with the head cold thing that I had. she starts to feel a little bit better. Christmas Day, Mrs. P is like, my throat hurts. I need to go lie down.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. It's like 4 p.m. And she goes to sleep and doesn't wake up until almost 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not good. And then the next day she's like, I feel really, really bad. I need to go to the doctor because you're like, and I think I have like a rash. And we said, okay. And then she goes to the doctor and then she texts me. What did you text me?
That I have chickenpox.
But in where?
I got it all over my toes, which was very painful.
Yep.
Don't recommend. But the biggest breakout was in my mouth.
Yeah, in your throat.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know that was a thing.
And then I start looking into it, like adult chicken pox, and they're like, hey, you might be a widower, brother. And I'm like, what? On Christmas? It's Christmas?
Yeah.
And then Mrs. P meanwhile, mind you, in the back of my mind, I'm like, but we have to recut an intro about Katy Perry.
That's true. We wanted to do
because the whole time I'm sitting here being like, well, we just need 15 minutes in the studio.
Yeah.
We just need 15
we just
fucking
gotta
minutes.
cut these openers.
Just to say, you're listening to Too Many Tabs. This is a classic episode where we cover all about apple cider vinegar and how Katy Perry killed Steve Jobs. Do we get to that? No.
No, because I got real sick.
No. And Mrs. P is literally like covered in rashes. The babies, and meanwhile, I still am only at like 70% because I never
but
really.
He's in charge now. He's the captain.
But now I'm in charge of everything. So I've come up with a new superhero name, which is Mommy Man.
Mommy Man.
Yeah, it's like Superman or Spider-Man, Mommy Man.
He's Mommy Man.
Mommy Man had to be in charge of the 1-year-old.
Yeah.
On his lonesome. And anytime he had a question, could not turn to Mrs. P. So where did he turn to? Google AI. Did you guys know you just add a little bit of glue to pizza and it doesn't stick? Anyway, it was very, very, very stressful. Because this is also during a time when we have said like we're taking a step back, we're taking our little break.
Yeah.
Take a little breaky now.
Yeah, but our break was also so we could get our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing is like, okay, we're going to take this week, we're going to relax. But at the same time, we were going to get our ducks in a row so that when we came in January, we could be like, all right, we're ready to go. We could hit
the ground running.
Yeah, we had big plans.
We wanted to make sure, we wanted to go ahead and have 3 episodes already researched. Yeah. I bought new lights for the studio and I've been doing a lot of different other changes. And so I was actually going to like start moving around and building out of actual filming space for us to make the YouTube side of the podcast more visually interesting.
Yeah.
We had meetings and things we wanted to take. There was all these different things that we wanted to do kind of off camera to the side while also like enjoying our baby's first Christmas with his eyes open. Because I went back and was looking at pictures. Like, he was alive during his Christmas last year.
But he
like
was a little potato.
His eyes weren't even open.
He was a little potato.
And so it's like, okay, this was going to be, like, there was a lot of things we wanted to do.
No, couldn't get out of bed.
This is...
chicken bugs.
Recording this episode, I want to let you guys know, has been so physically straining for us. Every time we've taken a break has been so one of us could hack up a lung off camera.
And drink some more Pedialyte.
And drink some more Pedialyte.
I'm big into great Pedialyte, baby.
Yeah.
I should get like the Arizona iced tea jugs of just purple Pedialyte. That's where I'm at.
There's only like I was able to make a couple videos.
Wait, can I tell you real quick about the lady at the doctor's office? What she said to me?
Go ahead.
So when I wake up and I realize that I have this rash, it was on my fingertips and in between my toes and on my scalp and face, and I was like, what the fuck? Because the thing is, I get a rash if I eat gluten.
Yeah.
Right. So like I know if I have a rash on certain parts of my body.
It's usually on your forearm.
It's usually my forearm where it starts.
Forearm. Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I must have got cross-contaminated somewhere. This is just a sign that I'm about to get sick. Blah blah.
Yeah.
But so I see these bumpies, and I'm like, this is not in the gluten area. What is this?
Yeah. It was literally on her fingertips.
It was
so crazy. Worse. And when she showed me the bottom of her foot, like a couple days into it, I was like, wait. Every time you got up to help me change a diaper, you were just like, what? Okay, you guys know in Die Hard, when he doesn't have shoes and he has to walk across the glass?
Yeah.
Mrs. P is Die Hard.
I am Die Hard.
I live with Mrs. Die Hard. I am Mommy Man.
Which is a Christmas movie.
I am Mommy Man, and this is Mrs. Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I'm like, I call my doctor. I can't get through because their office is closed on the weekend. I leave a message for the nurse. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call the local urgent care.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get meds, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to see if I can get antivirals. And so I called the local urgent care and I'm like, hey, I think I have chickenpox. And I was waiting for the person to think I was crazy because the people that thought when I was like, the baby has chickenpox, they're like, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, nobody gets chickenpox.
They were like,
anymore.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But so the lady was like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna come in. We're gonna check you out, blah, blah. And she's like, I just got over chickenpox too. And I was like, oh my God, like it made me feel, I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is a thing people have survived.
Yeah.
This is okay. There are other humans my age that have done this, right?
Well, it's really more our age, again, because a little bit younger than us got the vaccine.
Yeah.
And a little bit older than us typically got blasted by chickenpox
by
the time they were like 13.
Yeah.
And you just happened to miss that.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, I drive there, like beep beep drive, because you have to stay home with the babies, and I go and I get in there, and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna have to go wait in the virtual waiting room." And I was like, "What's that?" She's like, "Your car." So I was like, "That's honestly great rebrand. I love that. Thank you so much." But as I'm like filling out my paperwork, she starts telling me about how, oh, you're the girl that called with chickenpox. I just had chickenpox and I was in the hospital for 5 days and blah blah, and starts telling me the most crazy horror story you've ever heard. My face went sheet white. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She was describing to me the worst case scenario that she had survived, and I was like,
yeah,
okay.
like full pneumonia.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Her throat closed.
I was like, what? And then she's like, okay, go sit in your car for 30 minutes alone. And I was like,
with your thoughts.
Your parking lot. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. I got the medicine. I've been
but the doctor even was like, you poor person. You started explaining everything.
I was like, so then the baby got sick and the husband's sick and I'm sick, and I was just like, the doctor's like, you're having a really hard week, and I was like, we had to cancel Christmas.
Yeah, you're like, we met Hunter Biden and then everything went sideways.
Yeah,
like much like America.
Okay.
Much like America.
And then yes, I just been in bed and as much as possible trying to recover from the chickenpox.
Yeah.
At my big age.
And so basically, anytime if you've been online and you've seen any content from me, any videos that I posted, that has been inside of the window where both Mrs. P and the baby were asleep. And I was just like, found clearance to be just loud enough in another room for like 10 minutes. Yeah. And that's kind of...
that is the story of what we did during winter break.
Yeah.
And why my voice sounds like this, because I have chickenpox in my mouth.
Yesterday you sounded like Marge Simpson.
Yeah.
You actually, while we were recording this, you took your last antiviral.
I did. I took my last pill.
So we're hoping. Here's the one thing we've learned. The number one thing we've learned.
Okay.
Is that we have to stop saying tomorrow will be healthy. Because we've done that. Multiple times. We're like, tomorrow I'm going to feel better.
Like, tomorrow I'm going to wake up. I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to do this.
And in reality, what has happened...
And then I wake up and I go, maybe you should download the Instacart. I don't think I can go to the grocery store.
What's basically happened is every 3 days, a different illness has been transferred to a different member. So we've had 3 people, each of which have something different.
Yeah.
I had some sort of cough, sinus thing.
Yeah.
You had a different one because yours initially, you never had the postnasal that I had.
No.
And so you had a different one. And then the baby had chickenpox. Yeah. And so we've just been moving these. Okay, so that was a really random transition for you guys. We just lost power.
Yeah.
I'm literally using a backup battery on my floor. I don't know how much of this episode's even savable now.
I need to know that we worked so hard to get this episode together, and we're like, we're doing it, we're recording it, blah, blah, blah. And every light in this house went out, the computer went out, and we both just kind of stared at each other like, it might be over.
So as we said at the beginning of the episode, we're barely back. We're somehow actually less back now
we're so bad
than we were starting off.
We're losing our minds. Are you gonna show? You can't.
I don't know if I can lift it up high enough.
It's one of it's
a Jackery 1,000 watt battery that I bought a while ago when we lost power multiple times. But legit, we're just like, wait, did our house, was it our house? Because again, old house.
Yeah.
Did our house just break? But then all of a sudden, all of the apps on my phone that were all like neighborhood based were all like, did everyone else lose power? And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So we almost lost all that because you just started mumbling, I don't know if I saved. I don't know if I saved. I don't know if I saved.
I usually, but also we were in the middle of like a segment.
Yeah.
That was going a little long. So I'm like, did we just lose 20 minutes?
Who knows?
Did we lose everything?
Maybe.
But anyway, the last thing we said was basically we've been trading around illnesses and now we don't have power.
Now we don't have power. Things are going really well.
Yeah. I didn't even get into the MAGA Civil War.
Oh, right.
There was a whole thing. We want to talk about MAGA Civil War and say R.I.P. Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. A lot of things happened.
There's so many things that are going on, but who gives a shit?
I don't know how I'm going to cook dinner.
I don't know. Listen, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
Fine. Guys, listen, everyone's going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
We didn't even cover the most important thing that happened yesterday.
That?
Which is when I went to drop the baby off, I was like very excited because I was going to get a burrito. And right before I left the house, I was like, oh, let me go use the bathroom real fast. And
I cannot believe you're about to tell this story.
Honestly, now that we lost power, yeah, I'll admit it. I was about to leave the house to go get a burrito, but right before I walked out the door, I shit my pants. That's how we're closed out. That's how 2024 ended. 2024 ended with me shitting my pants. And 2025 has been legit, y'all. I can't stress. Every time we said we're going to take a quick break, the reason we've said we're going to take a break is because one of us has looked at each other and has been like, we're about to cough our fucking brains out. Yeah. And I'm tired of editing out of the episodes.
Yeah. Listen.
I love you.
I love you. And I love our listeners. And we're trying our best.
We're trying so hard. So this has been...
welcome back.
I just want to say this has been the most chaotic episode we've ever tried to do, and it's not even about the topic.
What topic? What was the topic?
That's what I mean. Us. The topic was us. We're the topic. Y'all are great.
Guys, I hope you had a great New Year's Eve. I hope you had a great holiday. I hope you had a great time with your family and that it was lovely and you got to relax and you got to be chill and vibe out and eat lots and lots of cookies and all the fun things. I hope that for you. And this next year, we're gonna be chill. We're gonna keep our sense of humor about what's ahead of us, and we're gonna keep a positive attitude.
I'm sitting in the dark.
It's not true. We have
I have my one influencer light.
Influencer light.
I'm running an influencer light off a USB. It's the only light we have in the room right now.
We're doing fine.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Give the people something nice to end the episode with.
Oh, we probably should put a thing in. Okay, if you made it to the end of the episode, just write, I hope y'all are doing okay. That should be the... My
asthmatic laugh is so hard.
It's so bad.
Sorry.
I can hear
y'all.
There's so many.
I'm so sorry.
Your usual asthmatic laugh is like pretty good.
Yeah.
It's you're getting into like the dog from Wacky Races. You know the one? Snidely Whiplash's dog. Anyway, getting those comments right. I hope you're doing okay. And we hope y'all are doing okay too.
Have a great week, everybody.
Too many frauds and too many scammers that we wish weren't real. Too many cons and too many spammers, and we're starting to feel like we've got too many tabs open. It's too many tabs. Remember to smile.